I'm here with Jean-Francois Hautemulle, who is head of fund selection at the private bank Unicredit, and he spoke yesterday at the Distribution Summit, which was the first day of the programme this year for FundForum 2010. Jean-Francois, perhaps you could explain to me exactly what is this open and guided architecture that you were talking about yesterday?
If you go back to the history of the fund management business and the ability to sell products, most of the asset managers were tied to a distributor mostly a bank or insurance company. What's happened in the early 80s and 90s in the US is they started to open up to other third-party managers, which is what open architecture is about. And it's been going very popular in the US. It started to become much more popular in Europe as well. The challenge being that you need to, how many fund managers you put into a platform, which is where you have the concept of open architecture, where you basically open it to absolutely everybody and make the best fund win or the best fund house win, or you have what you call now guided architecture, where you basically focus the activities of your style distribution to a number of firms with whom you want to do business as a preferred partner.
And so what's your opinion of what's better, to have a lot of funds or to be very focused?
Interestingly enough, within Unicredit, we've had until now the two models. We had a very guided architecture in Italy and an extremely open architecture in Germany. If you look at the numbers and in terms of the AUMs you raise and the efficacy of it, guided architecture is a much better model. As somebody said actually in FTFM some time ago, choice is a good thing. Too much choice is paralyzing. And when you deal with distribution capabilities, the distribution network, you have to be able to give them some guidance in terms of where they should get the clients into their portfolio.
And what did you take away from the session yesterday? Opinions were pretty strong.
I think it's really up to me. What was very good yesterday was the idea that in the end we all were following more or less the same kind of model. A lot of people are now moving away from completely guided architecture, and we are starting to get into much more guided and focused approach to offering products to the clients, which makes a lot of sense when you consider there's like something like 37,000 funds in Europe, which is nobody can actually handle that.
I think this morning's session there was a statement that there's 8,000 in America and
which is already confusing
in Europe, so
yes.
There will be a refining process, and you would agree with that?
Absolutely, completely. But that's what we do. I mean, we try to, within Unicredit Private Banking, what we try to do is link our fund recommendations to the views of our investment specialists. Therefore, when we have a view on a certain market, we actually try to make sure that the products that we have behind it are actually in sync with that. You can do that in a much better way when you know the fund managers that you're dealing with, you know their products, than trying to choose from the best.
And does it require an extra level of confidence in your ability to choose the right funds within that focus stream?
Well, confidence comes with time, and when you start building a track record in terms of the process you follow, you start becoming a bit more confident about what you're doing. You also have to question yourself all the time. Simply because you can never really predict the future, as we know, and therefore you may sometimes have some issues. But when you start dealing with a limited number of managers, you actually have a better way of monitoring and understanding what they're up to. The kind of relationship you have with them is a much closer one, which means that they're much more open to tell you exactly what's been going right, what is been going wrong, and that's going to help you with the client in the end.
But in a way, is this almost like coming full circle back to where we started before the open architecture was?
Not really, in a sense. What's happened now is, originally the asset management companies were really an offshoot of the bank or the insurance company, and basically were proprietary. At this stage, you still have some proprietary business, but you also have the ability to offer a much broader range of product to the clients from other third-party managers who are specialists. Not every single manager is good at everything. Therefore, if you can choose and select the best in specific asset classes, be it European equities, US equities, corporate bonds, or emerging market debt, then you're in good shape with the clients.
Thank you. And just on a different note, can you tell me what you get from FundForum when you attend?
I think it's the ability to actually meet a lot of people. It's actually the first time I'm attending the FundForum as a distributor, which means that I have a lot of people who want to talk to me to show me what their capabilities are. I actually have a number of meetings set up. So I think it's a very quick way in 2 or 3 days to actually meet as many people as you want to meet new people you've never seen before, and get some really good insight of what's happening in the market, in the industry, that you would not necessarily have when you are back at home.
Of course. Well, thank you very much for your time. Jean-Francois Hautemulle from Unicredit Private Bank.